exactly telling them what time you came in and out.
It registered what
That's
time
right.
you got in, right? And sometimes what they used to do is that in order to go out, you had to put your ID on the door in order to go out, right? So when you want to go out, they're saying from a security perspective, right? You swipe your card to get in, and you put your card on the door to get out. But you know what I used to do? I'm social conformist. I'm not. Right? Okay, I may swipe in the morning because I got to swipe. I don't have a choice. Right? But in the evening, I wait till I see someone else going through that door, and then I go through the door.
And what does that do?
Huh?
I don't get it. What does that do?
I mean, what does that do?
You wait till you see someone else go out?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You don't register what time I leave.
Ah. So you don't need to swipe out. To
No, you
unlock
need
the
to swipe
door
out.
or-
You need to swipe out. You need to swipe in. From a security perspective, you put your card on the door.
You don't think that's also a security measure in your in
That's
that
what I
situation?
said. That's what I said.
To leaving now. The
Yeah,
leaving. part.
but it's security, but it also Big Brother watching you.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to find a reason, they can go now pull up your card swipe and says, look at this. He came in. And this is what they will say. They will never look at you coming in early. They will say, look, he always leave early. He always leaves at this time. He always leave at 5:05. He never stays here late. If they want to find the stuff. So let's go for no, we don't have to. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so really and truly, if they want to find something on you, they could find something on you. So
I'm trying to see what percentage of people actually have to punch a clock.
do they have that there?
No, I mean I haven't reached it yet, but I'm sure it's here. Everything is here. Well, almost everything.
So is there anything else on maplewoodian.com other than that? New school baggage concerns on maplewoodian.com?
No. It doesn't look, there's a big meeting tonight, it says, in the Township Committee. A lot of things to discuss. I guess the tax raising and all the other stuff.
Well, the board had mixed views on homeschool athletes and CHS teams.
Okay, I'm listening to that.
That's a good deal for those homeschool kids, though. In the past, if you were homeschooled, you couldn't play on an athletic team at Columbia. I don't know what's the big deal, man. Well, what difference does it make? If you're in the school system, you'll be able to play. If you're not, it's not really changing anything. With your burden on the system, your parents pay taxes. The Board of Education formally introduced a proposal Monday night that will allow district homeschool students of high school levels to participate in teams at Columbia High School. The board did not vote on the policy, but did discuss it and had some mixed concern. Those who were not sure about it raised the issues of homeschoolers maintaining the academic requirement that the others at the high school might reach. It will be voted on next month. Acting Superintendent Jim Memoli also offered concerns that the burden it will place on administrations to keep tabs on students' health record, academic levels, and other needs. He also wanted to make sure if it did not open the door for homeschoolers to be involved in other school programs. I'm glad to hear about the slippery slope because that was the biggest concern for the high school, and this will go into other areas, said Memoli. We don't know how many students are out there. It might be 3, it might be 30. Board member Jeffrey Bennett, who led the effort to draft the policy, called it cautious, conservative policy change that will not affect academics or other services. He also said it will not apply to other residents. It will be for homeschoolers only. Board member Donna Smith, we're going to see if your friend have any comment.
I didn't see much of it one last night.
What's her name again?
Maureen Jones.
Maureen Jones. Let's see. Board member Donna Smith said the policy has crafted this ideal way of handling it, but others, including board member Beth Doherty, raised concern. If the states want to come up with a way, it means to determine academic eligibility. By all means, participate, she said. I'm still concerned about the burden on the administration. Let the friggin' kids participate, man. Come on. How much kids are gonna be like? What? It's not gonna be much of a difference. Oh,
I mean, I don't think it's an open and shut, yes, let anybody play case. There's got to be something going on with it.
Your friend said something.
What did she say?
Board member Maureen Jones added, I too was initially hesitant about such a policy. I understand the importance of being part of a school experience. I think what it really boils down to is that academic equivalency. Memoli said the policy will be considered and voted on next month, but will take effect until the winter 2015-2016 sports season.
That's an interesting point.
What?
Well, because to play on a team, you have to maintain an average.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, you can't fail anything. And then, if you're homeschooled, who's to say whether you're passing or failing anything?
Yeah, but you can't make it up in homeschooling, though, because you still got to have the right thing to go to college. Remember, you can't make it up. I mean,
what do you mean you can't make it up?
Well, to me is that you still got to go and take the SAT. As a matter of fact, there was this parents that homeschooled their kids, and I think the two kids went to Ivy League school. I saw that somewhere.
Uh-huh.
So, to me, homeschooling is better than, for parents who can do it, homeschooling is way better than sending your kids to
Why? Just based on that one
No,
simple
because
case?
what it is that you as a parent or parents can basically give your kids more of what they want to learn than all that other garbage they got to go through. Like electives. Some classes have nothing to do with anything, but they wanted to take it because that's in the curriculum, or that's what the state tells you, or that's what Pearson, in order for them to make their money, that's what they want you to do in this standardized test.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a standardized test is also an SAT, and there's something you have to learn from that. So, I'm sure there's some positives to homeschooling. But what about any negatives of homeschooling? You don't see anything negative about it?
I don't see anything negative.
Really?
Well, what do you see negative?
Well, how about that you do not have the opportunity or the misfortune of having to socialize with others?
That's overrated. It's overrated.
You have to have at least two people at home, not unless you're hiring your own personal tutor. What parent really wants to look at their kid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? It's not the norm in our society. The ability to socialize with others
Here's the article.
is missing.
How and why homeschool my black sons to the Ivy Leagues.
Where are you looking at that at?
This is in babyandblog.com. Recently, Darcel wrote an awesome post called 7 Homeschool Bloggers You Should Know. The post went viral as moms found it and added the names to the list. Among those who commented is Paula Penn Nabrit, a consultant lawyer and Wesley College graduate who homeschooled 2 of her 3 sons to the Ivy Leagues and wrote a book about it. She was kind enough to answer questions for Baby and Blog. Check it out.
There are, I don't know about here in this community, but there are situations where I have a friend who works for the Department of Education who teaches homeschooling. So he goes to 4 different homes every day and teaches kids, but he's paid by the city of New York to do that. Is that the same as homeschooling, or are you expecting a parent to fill in?
Yeah.
Or are you expecting a computer to do all of the work?
No.
So you're taking every class online. I mean, it could go down to that, too. I mean, there are different ways of looking at how that can be done. You know, I mean, ultimately, they could get away from public education altogether. I can understand homeschooling for people who are in countries where schools are far away from them, or they're, living in some remote place.
To me,
But I guess the major value, or a major value of public education, is the socialization for whatever that's worth that you get as a student. Some people, this is their glory day, high school, when they think about all the great things and who they were and how popular they were and who was in the class with them and do you remember Miss So-and-so and all of that. That's the hype for many, many, many people in this country, or rather, who've gone to school, because, it's less than 30% of all people who go on to college. So that might be the end of the show for them. That might be the big deal for them in their life.
Overrated.
Okay.
So here is this mom.
It's overrated.
Overrated.
So you're saying school? Well, what about just drop out? Why do you have to be schooled at all, Anselm?
No, if you want to go to college, you got to show that you have a transcript. You were homeschooled. You gotta make sure you have a syllabus.
Who's gonna make this transcript?
The parents. You got to follow. There's a roadmap to follow. You're not just gonna make it up. They have to take tests. They got to still do well on the SAT in order for them to go to college. But let's hear what this mother had to say. I wish I could say we began planning our homeschooling journey as soon as the pregnancy test came back positive. But that would be a lie. I can't even say we began thinking about it that early. We simply enrolled them in the best school we can find. And when challenges presented at that school, we tried to help and address and correct them. When that didn't work, we enrolled them in another school and began the process anew. By the time the boys were expelled from their last school, due to chronically late tuition payment, they have been in 5 different schools. And here are the 5. An experimental Montessori type school, a highly ranked public school out of our district where we thought it was worth the paperwork, an exclusive, expensive, coeducational independent day school, a good public school in our suburban district, and finally, another exclusive and expensive, but this time single-sex, independent day schools. Those were diverse, yet well-regarded, high-performance schools. They were in different cities, different regions of the country, yet the same sort of challenges kept emerging. It seemed obvious now, but at the time we were stunned with the realization that institutional education, whether public, private, or parochial, whether in urban, suburban, or rural communities, are all designed to do similar and very specific things, namely, educate and socialize the next generation to support and expand the existing status quo. Once we realized that, the complexities of our recurrent challenges disappeared. We were actually working at home to ensure our sons didn't become part of the status quo, so of course there were conflicts. We were unconsciously working at cross purposes with the very schools we selected and getting mad at them for doing what they were designed to do. Was homeschooling popular among mothers in general and black mothers in particular at that time? Okay, what kind of reception did you get from other black women when you shared that you were homeschooling? Okay, how much did you homeschool your son? So here we go. When we began homeschooling in 1991, our eldest son Charles and Damon were 11-year-old 6th graders, and Evan was 9 and in the 4th grade. Listen to this, and this is what I was telling you. We developed our own curriculum, moved to a 12-month calendar, eliminated cable, video game, and all discretionary, non-essential spending, and hired African American graduate students. 7 of the 9 were male, at the Ohio State University to teach biology, French, and mathematics. My husband, C. Madison, insisted the boy do all the other